I remember you.
Because I'm multifaceted.
That's true.
And I
Jerry,
Jerry.
what have you been doing in my house?
Wait, what's the Cameroon accent?
So it's just like, Jerry, what have you been doing in my house?
What are you doing in my house?
Yeah, I think with Nigerians, you guys have a bit more sass.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. It's like, my friend, come on for here, Joe. Podcast, guys, today I have a brand new guest. You guys have never seen her before. I've got Raliat on the episode today. The reason why I'm so excited is because not only is Raliat a multi-hyphenate individual, but she's also a dear friend and she's an incredible individual and she's a great dancer as well. And she has a chill, cool personality. So today we're going to talk about a wide range of things. We've got some water as well. We have some simmer as well for later if you want to eat. And we're going to have another segment of this podcast in the car. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so Riley, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't lie. Slightly nervous for this app.
Nervous?
Because you know what?
Yeah.
I was like, I really love the idea of podcasts, but the idea of like having like footage that someone else is editing, because obviously I'm a YouTuber as well, TikToker as well. So I wouldn't say I'm a TikToker, but anyway, it just scares me. And then also I don't want to say the wrong things, but I'm just gonna be myself, honestly.
Yeah. It always helps to be on someone's podcast who you know isn't gonna be like
malicious with
take your words out of context and do stuff like that. Which is definitely what we don't do on the Jerry Exclusive podcast. So it's definitely nothing to be worried about. But today I wanna obviously there's, like I said before, you know, you do a lot of things, you know, you're multi-hyphenate, you know, entrepreneur, you know, dancer, you're problem solver, you know, you're a student or you were a student as well. And
recent graduate.
Yeah. From Trinity Laban?
Yeah. Trinity Laban, but
Trinity Laban, yeah. So is that like a dancing school just for dance?
Yeah, it's not just for dance, it's a conservatoire. And it has 3 components, so it's like musical theatre, dance. Actually it has dance science as well, and it has music.
Dance science? What's that about?
I mean, my degree is not in it, but it's basically about discovering how we can look at science from a dance perspective. So instead of having, and a lot of physiotherapists that major in dance go through that process, looking at the anatomy of dance and what we do with our body whilst dancing. We had a class with them a few times. But, my degree is not in that, so that's all I can say.
I think dance is interesting from like an athletic perspective. Yeah. Because I've heard a lot of athletes who were injured and they use dance to recover, to gain strength in their muscles and things. And that's really fascinating to me because I never saw dance as a exercise science kind of thing. You know, I always saw it as just, you know, having fun, entertaining, just letting loose. But you know, this it seems like it's a lot deeper than what most people might think of dance. You know, I think every dancer I know, for them it's a lot more personal than just dancing. You know, there's a deeper expression behind it. So what does that mean for you in dance?
Well, I agree with that. I feel like dance has 2 aspects of it. There is a technical side, but there's also this expressive, releasing side of it. And for me, I like to lean more into the expressive, artsy side. I would say like 80-20. 20 being technique, 80 being like expressive dance. Because I'm telling a story, and because I have a company, shout out One Syllable. Shameless plug. Yeah, like I'm a choreographer and I direct that, and a lot of my work is based off of my own experiences and how I want to express and articulate myself in the dance space. And I let go of technique because for me, technique can be a little restricting and it makes me overthink. And the technique will naturally come through with my choice of choreography, whether like I'm pointing my toes, flexing my toes, etc. But at the end of the day, it's not the focal point, it's not the focus when I'm trying to create choreography.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So what does that look like from a practical perspective? So let's say you're overviewing a choreography, you're directing dancers and things. What do you tell them? Do you give them a few tips and then just let them figure out the rest, or what? How is it like?
Well, the process starts in my room. Like, it starts me writing down the things I want to talk about. And to be honest, it's very spontaneous how I create choreography. Like, if I'm thinking one day something, and then I just write in my notes, and then I start thinking about how I want to express it. And I really start with like the journey in terms of the spatial journey. Like, where is the dancers coming from? Where are they gonna go? What do I want to start it like? What do I want to end it like? And then when the dancers come in, I kind of create choreography on the spot. And low-key, that's kind of shamed upon. I feel like in the dance space, I feel like because why did I say that twice? But from personal experience, people like to have a plan. And honestly, I feel like I'm one of them, which is quite contradicting because I don't do that. But I feel like I have to see the dancers in space, see their bodies, how they move, then create what I create, the little intricacies or the little things that come with my choreography. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
But they do have their own little flair.
Okay.
But it's my story, but their expression, their interpretation of my story. Yeah.
What are some of the themes that you've touched on in some of your projects before?
Themes, adulting was a big one last year. I did a piece called Spiraling, and that was about adulting and the whole transition between becoming I don't want to use the word adult because I don't feel like I'm an adult.
Why not?
I'm 21, mate. That's like not even adult. Like, wait, how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're still 20.
Still 20?
You're still 20.
You're not that older than me, you know that?
No, but you've
You're
been
like,
20
like
since.
2 months older
You've
than
been
me.
20 since I've met you, bro. I'm being serious. You've been 20 since I've met you. Anyway.
You're trying to say I'm faking my age?
I know, bro, but anyway. That's what. Anyway, yeah. So, do you feel like an adult?
I think.
I'll be honest.
I think I mostly feel like an adult.
Okay,
so maybe like 80-20.
Why?
I think the 20% is not because I feel like a kid, but just because I want to retain the positive childhood elements.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like if I was to go 100% adult, I'll lose my soul. If you get what I mean.
Soul is crazy.
I'll just be bland and.
Yeah, but maybe you're just looking at adulthood as such, like the stereotypical you can't have fun lens. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like a kid, and it doesn't help that I am in my parents' house. And my
What do you mean though? You feel overall you just feel like a kid?
No, I feel like I'm just not ready for adulthood. The adulthood that the world has prepared us for, like paying bills, having this expectation of knowing it all, being able to learn from your past experiences, even though you were only like your youthfulness, your youthfulhood, is that a word? Is like 20% of your whole entire life. Like look how long you are as an adult. Then think about your youthful, your adolescence, I guess is a better word.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you're 18, you're an adult. Does that make sense? Your frontal lobe only develops at 25.
Yeah.
I'm a child, bro. Child.
Yeah. I guess it's a mixture of like being a social construct. I guess you could argue that they just want to get people into the workforce as quickly as possible. So they made up a social, and by they I just mean people in power for centuries and centuries in the past. Maybe they just came up with a social construct of like because before it used to be kids are like 10, 12 used to work in chimneys and stuff.
Yeah. Chimney sweeps.
Yeah, I guess they increased it a little bit, but they put it at 18 just to get people into the workforce quicker. But yeah, it does have its downsides. I think for me, it's not necessarily the paying bills and things.
Oh, okay.
I feel like for me, the part that sucks about the conventional definition of being an adult is the idea that you can't
make mistakes.
You can't just express yourself.
Nah. What? Like what? Like you can't have a tantrum or something?
No, not tantrum. I mean, like you can't just be free. Like like sometimes I go places I feel like I have to be, I have to be prim and proper. Why can't I just be like free, or like why can't I wear a do-rag? Like sometimes I wear a not to say I wear a do-rag to a wedding or something, but just sometimes I just want to do random, unpredictable things that come natural to me. I don't want to have to dress a certain way just because it's like acceptable to dress that way, or speak a certain way just because it's acceptable. I can speak differently from other people. Doesn't mean I'm not an adult. Same way as I can be super sophisticated and I can use words like ostentatious and things like that. It doesn't mean I'm all of a sudden super adult and super smart. Yeah. It's just me. If that makes sense.
And I think, I agree with that. And also, as an adult, like from your childhood, you start overthinking like everything you do.
Yeah.
And society does that so much. I don't actually understand why it does that. There's this saying like, "Oh my God, you're 40. How are you doing this and that?" But I guess that's only really in the context of like stupidity, not really expression of self. And as a creative, I love expression in a way that fits you.
Yeah.
So if you want to, whatever you want to do, wear your do-rag, dress a certain way. Who's going to tell you? We have free will, Jerry.
I know we do.
We have free will. They don't care about anybody else.
I know. It's not that I don't care, but I know the way the world works, if you get what I mean. Like,
maybe opportunities might.
Yeah, we have free will, but that doesn't mean that people are still not going to look at you a certain way.
True.
And we live in a generation where, especially for us as black people, generally we have less opportunities, and generally it's other people who hold the keys to the doors that we want to walk into.
Right.
So sometimes, we have to appeal to certain people. We have to act a certain way that's like socially acceptable to be able to get into those doors.
Yeah.
So it's not that I care, but I know that, the system is very entrenched, and sometimes to break out of the system, you gotta start by working with the system first.
Conformity.
Yeah, which is controversial. What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on it?
I hate it. Okay, no. Hyperbolic.
You don't agree?
I just don't like people coming out of themselves. Within reasonable measure, like not crazy stuff, but like suppressing how they feel to conform. Like, and my biggest example would be when, all the people who migrated here had to conform to this cultural standard. of like, I don't know, what's an example? Like even hair, like hair is a big thing. I know I'm wearing it, yeah. But like as a black person, hair and all these things is like very important. And now we're wearing wigs and all these things because we had to conform. And obviously, wigs look nice and stuff, but we need to think, what are the intrinsic things that we have to heal ourselves about? Like, you know what I mean? Like straight hair.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not wigs, but straight hair. Like, why is straight hair seen as presentable, but when our hair is in its natural form, it's seen as untamed, raggedy, rough, all these connotations.
Yeah.
Nappy, like,
Yeah.
nah. And that's because we had to conform to that system. But then again, yeah, who opens those doors?
Yeah.
What do you think?
That makes sense.
Well, you already kind of.
Yeah, I think it's two parts of the coin, like you said. I think another thing as well is there's so many different, like you mentioned, hair. It could be like makeup. It could be your choice to drink or not drink. Just any lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it makes you come across as you're not with the crowd. You're strange.
You're rebellious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When generally you're just trying to be yourself. And yeah, it's something I've had disagreements with people in relationships before where,
Wait, romantic relationship?
Wait, romantic relationship.
Funny.
On one hand, I was like, don't care what anyone says, just be yourself. But on the other hand, I was like, you gotta understand how the system works. Sometimes you gotta. I don't want to use the word conform because I feel like
but that's what it is.
It is on the surface, but like think about it in the sense of like looking at the end goal. Like what's the law of power? Have you read 48 laws of power?
No.
There's a law that says never outshine the master, right? And that basically just means like if you're working a 9 to 5, don't try and like outshine your boss because then they'll see you as a threat. Or don't try and outshine people who have the keys to the doors that you're trying to get into, even if it's unintentional. But that doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're conforming. It just means you're being strategic.
Weak is not. Okay, strategic. But when is that cycle gonna stop once you're in that door? Is there any intention of trying to change and reform that system that is forcing you to dilute yourself, to take part of yourself away? That's how I see it. You can say it's drastic, you can say I'm being hyperbolic.
No.
But I think I'm like, when you call a spade, Jerry, spade is a spade. Conformity is conformity.
I know. And you are making sense.
Even if it's like 1%, yeah.
You are making sense. But again, I mean, once you do get into that door, then you have more power to try and make changes, right?
Yeah, but I would say the only way I would see it as acceptable is if you're trying to like try and break those changes a bit drastic. Like those cycles, the cycle of the cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a long lasting debate. It's part of my approach to life that sometimes I don't know which way to go. But I still wouldn't call it conformity. That's just me though. I would call it strategic. I'll just call it being strategic. That's just me. That's what I would disagree.
You can flower it up any way you want. You can dress it up any you want, mate.
Sorry. But I want to talk about one syllable as you humbly mentioned before, your business. If you had to explain your business in 1 or 2 sentences, how would you describe it?
Do you know it's hard because I've been trying to rebrand, as Jerry knows.
Yeah.
I've been trying to rebrand for like a couple months now. I think like 5 months, I would say. So let me do it in the most bland way, so you're forced to check us out on Instagram. One Syllable is a dance company that is like no other, that wants to break the boundaries of the current state of the contemporary dance world.
Nice.
And pave the way for the success of young dancers.
You should put that
on a shirt.
Yeah, you should put that on a t-shirt somewhere. No, that's dope. That's dope. And if I had to say a sentence and then you finish the end of the sentence, okay. Without dance.
No, that's crazy. Because my mind is saying, oh, without dance, I have nothing. But that's not true, because I'm so, like, I have other aspects of who I am and what I'm doing in this life.
Yeah.
So without dance, I still have... Oh gosh, look at me trying to be optimistic. Without dance, you better bring back dance. I don't know what to tell you. Without dance.
No, it makes sense.
There'll always be dance.
Yeah.
Because even movement, we can see that at dance. This is dance.
Yeah.
There's no lines. The lines are blurred between movement and dance. And anything.
Yeah. Dance is everywhere.
Everything. Keep them breathing.
Breathe it.
Yeah, we did an exercise in uni where we were like, you just stood still, and then we were trying to see like what things move, and like what things can still be considered dance, I guess. And breathing was one of them. Even when you're stood and your eyes were closed, so you could kind of feel the chest expand and deflate, and also your weight shifting slightly from side to side, forward and back. It was interesting. To be honest, my degree was interesting, but I could have paid for... never mind. Moving on.
You know, I have that same thought every day. Like I could have kept that money and got the same knowledge.
Now we have stupid
more from YouTube,
debt.
bro.
Facts. Now we have student debt, man.
Yeah. I think the next 10 years, the whole university system is gonna fall off.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's going.
I would 5-10. Yeah. Just because like we have opportunity now, we can see that there's more to life than getting a degree for whatever reason, just to delay the work process. Because quite honestly, I feel like I did that indirectly, and also it's pushed within the curriculum of school. Yeah. Like they literally build us up to go to uni to get there. Yeah. That's also a Marxist theory called the hidden curriculum. I did sociology at A level.
Oh, okay. What's Marxism again? Remind me.
I don't know how to define that, but it was made by Marx, and basically it's basically like socialism.
Okay.
Kind of like communism. Okay. They all sit together.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not quote me on that one. If you're keeping this, I can even get the definition. Should I get the definition?
Yeah, of course. Because I've heard of it, Marx.
I've got a B, so it's not even that gara, please.
Marx, is a guy from Russia, right? He's Russian, is he?
I don't know. Marxism is a political philosophy and method of socio-economic analysis. That is not a good definition. Should I ask ChatGPT? Do you use ChatGPT? Are you allowed?
Yeah. ChatGPT is my personal assistant, bro.
We go together bad.
I got the premium version as well.
You pay for ChatGPT?
Yeah, it's much better. It's actually worth it.
No, but like, why?
because it's more, you get better processing, more answers. You can put in more media into it.
Oh, that's what his name is. What is Marxism? Marxism is a way of thinking about how people live, work, and share things. It was created by a man named Karl Marx, who wanted to make the world fairer for everyone. I can't lie. I put what is Marxism for kids.
No, I do that.
Anyway,
I do that into ChatGPT. I'm like, was this simplified for like dummy versions or something?
That's a good one.
Explain it to me. Yeah.
Honestly.
But yeah, so moving on with one syllable, what would you say is the hardest part of starting your business?
Just a business in general, or specifically one syllable?
Specifically one syllable.
Specifically one syllable is people. Like, my business is motivated and for people. So when there isn't people, or people are not buying into it, you have to like constantly, like, there's a waiting period. Like, it feels like if there is no one like crowding around your business, funding your business, talking about your business, people. Well, every business is about people, but specifically you need dancers, you need volunteers, all these things. And I'm like a small dance company, like, so I need help. And right now, most of my friends are cross country or like in different nations. That's crazy. Like different parts of the UK.
Yeah.
Like one of my friends are in Nottingham, Liverpool, Leeds. Like it's nowhere close to London, and it's money to like bring them here. So like right now I'm struggling with that, which is why I feel like I'm procrastinating and delaying my rebrand. I need to make sure like the amount of people who I'm reaching, because it's quite niche who I'm rebranding the target audience, that they see it, because there's already not enough of the people in contemporary dance.
Yeah. And so your friends in different parts, are they like your dancer friends specifically, or just your friends in general?
One of them is my like friend in general, like very close. And the others I'll say dancer friends, just because there's like that dancer angle that they give me specifically, and I don't really go to them for any other aspects of life, I would say.
Yeah. Do you ever have the issue where you have really good friends and you don't want to make it seem like, because obviously when you start getting into business and being an entrepreneur, it can be over consuming, you know, you're always doing something, you're always working on something, and so sometimes you need your friends' help, but you don't want to make it seem like you're only friends with them for that. So sometimes, you know, you want to reach out to a friend, you're like, oh man, they're just gonna think I'm just using them. You know, do you ever get that issue?
No, because I don't really ask for help.
Really?
I'm really bad at asking for help, and most of my friends know this. I'm so bad for asking for help, and it's because I feel like my household as well. But nah, that's not true. I think maybe I'm prideful, maybe I'm stubborn. I think it's because I don't want to burden them. Not me figuring out in real time what my problem is. But literally, I feel like I'm burdening them with my project, with my passion. And like they have their other things. So it feels like, why am I doing that when they could be working on their thing? And I don't have that same way with my friends. Like, I really want them to ask me for help when they need it. And I'm always there for them. But I can't, I feel like I don't want them to do that for me.
I can relate to that.
But
Sure.
I do understand if someone was to only be my friend for one thing, I would be upset.
Yeah, me too. And the thing is, a lot of it is with friends I've known for a long time, but I'm sure you can relate as well. When time goes on, when you go from high school to sixth form to uni, it's like you spread out more and more and more and more, and so the frequency of contact is not as much. So, and also, I don't do things that I used to do, like partying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
we need to go into this.
Yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that. So I'm not gonna be constantly hitting them up like, you are fond of this party in this club, you trying to slide through, let's go. Most of the time I'm gonna be like, do you wanna work on this project together? Do you wanna study together? Or do you wanna something that's like productive? Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm not a fun person. I think I'm very much fun. But I think you can have fun in the context of being productive. And
I completely agree.
Yeah, not just mindlessly. And also in an age where and maybe you can relate or not, you can tell me. But I'm in like a stage of my life where I'm trying to accumulate things.
Same,
like, yeah. When I get to that point of like accumulation, where I'm like, oh, I've accumulated a lot to the point where I feel like I can relax, then maybe I'll party a little bit or do stuff a little bit. But I wouldn't be able to party because my conscience will be like, why
you
the
need
fuck
to
are you
constantly
partying?
do something else. Yeah.
Like, why the fuck are you partying when you don't have stuff that you want to have? You get what I mean? But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a never-ending battle, and that's like J. Cole said best. I don't know what he said specifically, but there's always gonna be a bigger house than the one you have. Like the whole keeping up with the Joneses. There's always gonna be bigger and better across the street. So you need to be satisfied with yourself.
Yeah.
But that's also like how I deal with that is from a religious point of view. Like there's only so much. Like God has blessed you with certain things, and you shouldn't want more or like wait. Like it's gonna come. At one point it's gonna come. So stop dwelling on it and like just be grateful for what you have, and if more comes, that's also great.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But wait, what did I talk about?
So like what phase of life are you in, and do you feel like you ever get to a point where you relax and maybe you do more fun things, I guess?
I definitely will. Yeah. For me, I don't even know what my hobbies are. I feel like these are my hobbies now, but I don't like the fact that my business is becoming my hobby. But I am picking up tennis. My hobby used to be ice skating, but I have dropped that. Like, I'm coming back, but like I had to take a step back because I needed to. I'm currently doing 2 qualifications right now.
So for ice skating?
No, one for project management and one for business.
Oh, nice.
So I'm doing both of them simultaneously whilst working a 9 to 5. Trying to rebrand my business. Also, make sure I've also created an accountability group chat. So also make sure that's working. And I'm also in an accountability group chat. So I have to make sure I'm hitting my goals. So yeah, I am accumulating all these things. I guess one point. Because I'm more and more getting grounded, and like as I'm developing my faith, I'm getting more grateful for the little things. So like that sense of wanting more is slowly diminishing, I feel like. Like I still have goals and aspirations, but being grateful for what I have now, the fact that I have a car, the fact that I have legs. Like people don't have legs, people don't have arms. Yeah. And you just have to be grateful, man. But yeah.
I hate that. Do you want to talk a bit about the accountability group? There's different,
Jerry's in this.
there are different penalties that we talked about.
We actually spoke about so I joined the other accountability group chat. It's just all girls, and we're trying to get better and all this. Let me bring mine up a bit.
Is it like private, or like do you want to invite people to join?
Oh, it's private.
Okay.
It's only like 15 people. And we've been given like partners, and like now like I really have to get my goals done, or I don't want to let anybody down. But with the one, but it gave me like fuel to do like penalties and like build a spreadsheet for the one that I created.
Yeah.
And that's when we had the meeting, and I was like, guys, how can we make this? Well, I didn't say that, but like I'm thinking, how can we make this more impactful on our businesses, on our goals?
Yeah.
And that was penalties. So then we were speaking about, oh, can we do monetary ones? And that would give us funding for our businesses. And then you're like, yeah, that could be a possibility, but do we have that spare money to give? But you would only have to give it if you didn't achieve your goals realistically. But then we were like, oh, okay, what else? What else? Oh yeah, I went on ChatGPT. But Jerry, did you suggest like a different one that we didn't do?
I think I just said do 1,000 push-ups. Or
oh yeah, you did. Oh my goodness! I was like, what?
And you were like, I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl for real. I am. I can't even do one. Actually, I can. That's a lie.
What's the max amount you can do?
10, I think. But I haven't gone to the gym in a while. I've been doing steps instead for April. Nice. Yeah, but then we landed on hot seat, and I asked ChatGPT, how like what is good penalties, and we had the public. You had to pitch your business to the public, and they had to buy in. If they had to buy into it, then you were able to go. Yeah. That was the penalty. But yeah, that was petrifying for most of us. I don't know about you, Joe. I still don't know. I still feel like that would be easy for you.
What, the pitching in public?
Yeah.
I think the only reason it would be easy for me is just because I've done stuff like that before.
Yeah, public speaking, right?
Yeah, and just like, remember I told you I was doing like door knocking.
Oh yeah,
jobs there. I think I'm kind of immune to it now.
When was the last time you partied?
I don't even know what that means, though. Like, because there's like baby showers. We had a family gathering. Like, I don't go to any parties that I know that's a bit crazy. I don't want to be around alcohol, if I'm honest.
Okay. So, did you find that maybe that had a negative effect on your social life and things like during uni? Maybe just call me Dad.
Sorry, I'm so hot.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh my god. Oh no, I don't think it's impacted my social life. Definitely, people will not invite me to stuff or not include me, but it's fine because I don't want to even be around that at all. And like, I'm so secure in who I am now. Like at uni, it was like proving myself to other people. No, I mean, I care. You can do what you need, but I know I'm being protected from all of that negative stuff. So
yeah.
No, we can go golf, we can play tennis. It's not every day drink, party. No, never that.
Yeah.
Never that.
I think I'm transitioning as well to like not being a party person, because first year I might have gone to parties.
You might have.
The first year it was a social thing, like a trendy thing. Like, yo, Jerry, let's go. There's gonna be beanies or whatever. But as the more I transition, I was like, this isn't really adding anything to my life
or value.
Yeah, it's just robbing my bank account.
Right.
And I get home and I'm like, what did I learn today? Nothing. What did I gain today? Nothing.
In fact, you deducted. You lost.
Yeah, I went under. So yeah, I think I've stopped I think the only time where I would consider going to a party is if I'm spending time with a loved one, in a sense of, we're not just going to be gallivanting around, like, if I'm spending intentional time with a loved one. Obviously I wouldn't drink because I don't drink, but
have you ever
drank?
Yeah, like tried it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Was that peer pressure?
Nah, I've been drinking since I was 13.
What the flip?
But not pause.
Leave that out, man.
Pause. Not in the way it came out, but I've just always been curious. Maybe I've snuck, like, tasted a shot of Hennessy or something. But maybe I've tried it. I know what alcohol tastes like. No, I don't really drink anymore. I don't see the appeal in it. Interestingly, I've actually been told by family members that I'm not masculine enough because I don't drink, which is crazy.
That is insane.
Like, people have told me, like, Jerry, you know you're a man, right? I'm like, what does that have to do with drinking?
Right.
So, yeah, long story short, even though I have tried it and dabbled in it, I don't drink. And I haven't drank in maybe a few years or so. But yeah,
cool.
That's my philosophy.
Yeah, well, that does not mean you're not manly enough. That does not make any sense. And whoever says that, they want your demise. Sorry.
Yeah.
Probably they're not thinking like that, but like, it's not good. And I don't judge anybody from it because I'm in my own path. But I just understand why, as a Muslim, it's not permitted.
Yeah.
But let me stop being a goofy and take my class. Wait, did I ever think that? Okay. Bro, I'm tired. But now I'm putting back the. Alright,
Yeah.
go on.
What's your sleeping? What's your sleeping routine like normally?
So my sleeping routine. What do you mean by that? Like how many hours or like?
Yeah. So
day.
Do you have like a time where you generally go to bed, and do you have a time where you generally wake up?
Yeah. So I generally. I generally wake up around. Oh, sorry. I generally sleep around like 9-10. But recently I probably haven't been because Ramadan was like not too long ago. So my sleep is still crazy. Also the time went back. So
yeah.
Like,
actually, did it go back or forward?
It went forward, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, so, but generally around 9-10. I also stayed at work. Nah, I'm lying, Jerry. I'll be sleeping at 12 a.m. waking up at 5:30.
Damn, that's like a regular occurrence for you.
Recently.
Oh, okay.
And it's because I've been in this step challenge. So I've been, when I finish all the things that I need to do, whether that's edit a TikTok video or like edit a YouTube video or make a website plan for my business, I'm doing my steps after.
These kids want to get
annoying. Why? Because I'll start speaking about that. But it's because I pray in the morning.
Oh yeah.
So I have to wake up anyway. So. And the thing is, I don't really like delaying it. Yeah. Anyway, if you're a practicing Muslim, you get up at like in the AMs when it's dark. Yeah.
How's your journey in Islam been like? Have you been Muslim your whole life?
Yeah, I was born Muslim. I haven't been practicing Islam like for my whole life except the first like last year. And it's a thing where my immediate family is made up of Christians and Muslims.
Okay.
My mum is not religious, nor is my dad, but he's just not practicing, but he has knowledge.
Okay.
And we grew up in a time of 9/11. So, was 9/11?
Yeah, 2001.
Was it 2001?
Yeah.
It was 2003. Anyway, you definitely know.
Yeah, 2001.
Oh, okay. You would know. Anyway, thank you.
No, I wasn't alive then.
No, I know, but I'm saying you would probably know because you know things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had that prejudice in their mind. So they didn't want to. So they initially wanted to take us to like the Quran school, all these things, to learn Arabic, to learn Quran. But then there was this preconception, sorry. And then, yeah, they didn't end up doing that. They withdrew from practicing or any like organized religious places. Also, my mom has her own journey of her own. Like, she converted to Christianity after being a born Muslim, and then she returned back to Islam, but is not practicing.
Okay.
My dad was born Muslim, but his dad, I believe, reverted to Islam. And then I'm here, born Muslim, who has both two non-practicing parents, and yeah, so I've had to navigate it by myself. But it's been a beautiful journey, honestly. It hasn't been easy, quite easy because, I just spoke Yoruba. It's not easy. I said it's not easy. And in the contemporary dance world where there's no prayer rooms, there's no times where I have to allocate time for prayer, the dress code is not modest. Like all these different things. But yeah, thank God, because in my third year of uni, I was able to like confidently practice my religion, especially during Ramadan. That's when there was a switch. And also I had a conversation with my Christian friend who kind of like initiated that switch.
Okay.
And I don't want to expose my sins, but if someone can learn from it, you're allowed to, I guess. And we were just talking about partying culture, and it kind of started from that point of like, I'd never drank all my life, and there was always still like a moral grounding from still being a Muslim. Like even though I wasn't practicing, and I actually never read the Quran before, and I actually never went into, I did go into a mosque like once before.
Okay.
I like still had that. There was something holding me back, and now I understand it was God like holding me back from any evil and like trying to pull me towards Him. What I believe, and yeah, like wait, I don't even know where I was going with these. What was I saying?
Kilo sheep.
Also, I'm trying to actively speak more Yoruba, so that's why it keeps coming out. Anyway, I was talking to my Christian friend, and then we were just talking about how that experience. We were in a club setting, and I was surrounded by alcohol and rude people and men who were drunk and like don't know how to be respectful. And I thought to myself, what am I doing here? Then my Christian friend and me were driving back, and they just started talking about it, and I was like, I'm never going back there again. I was like, I never want to go back there again because I had an awful time, and if my friends are seeing this, I hate when you're drunk. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate how you guys act. I hate how you talk. There's no consideration for me. And I'm always designated driver, designated fault person for someone else.
Yeah.
I hate it. And I was like, I can't be in that environment. And every time I think, oh, I'm not being accepted, or my friends are not inviting me to stuff, I think back to that moment. You don't even want to be in that environment. So why are you yearning for your friends to want to like invite you to those places?
Yeah.
And peer pressure is the most dangerous thing in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For sure. I do want to talk a bit about them. Yeah, what was I saying about talking about not wanting to be in that environment of that senseless environment of like alcohol and partying and all of that. I think it's similar for me as well. But I wanted to ask, apart from that, has there been any other challenges with becoming a practicing Muslim for you?
I feel like, well, let me think. Because one, it would be like my friends. What's that thing like? Rejection, like giving my friends rejection. But the thing is, it overrides by God. Sorry, not sorry. I would say being around born Muslims that have been practicing their entire life, whose family is religious. Like I just experienced this recently, actually, where I felt like not left out or excluded, but like this common thing, like just knowing things from growing up in a religious household.
Yeah.
Like I can't relate to that. And as I'm trying to find Muslim friends and find friends that are practicing, I just, I feel sometimes left out, and that's challenging in navigating a space where I can find Muslim friends that are not judgmental of things.
Yeah.
Not saying that I don't know. It's like they were just talking amongst themselves and I couldn't really chip in because that's not my experience. Yeah. And they didn't really open the conversation up to consider what I may have an opinion on or like,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's not like they're intentionally trying to ostracize you. It's just because maybe they have a very different experience and like shared bond and things, and so it might be hard to like relate.
I definitely feel like a revert more than I relate to born Muslims, just because of that experience and also having sisters and brothers who are Christian.
Yeah. So we're getting towards the end of the episode. But yeah, I want to talk a bit about, I guess you're this amazing person now with all these different things going for you, and you know where did that mindset start for you? You know, how was your childhood, and where did all these seeds of the things that you're working on start being planted, and how were they influenced by how you grew up?
I think just naturally as a Nigerian, as an African, I should say, like we're very hardworking and we want to be the best at things, and it's very intrinsic from how my parents like brought me up. I think also seeing them work hard, like, I mean, I don't think I valued it until this point now where I'm at, where they literally picked up and moved to a whole different country in hopes to do better in hopes that their kids do better.
Yeah.
And they nurtured my talent. Like, as much as my parents want me to do politics and want me to do history and all the things that I was naturally good at, because I'm a speaker, as you can tell, debate, mate, all of these things, like, as much as they wanted me to do architecture, what's it called, academic subject, they trusted me to go pursue dance and still encourage me. And they see this fight, they see this consistency in me, and they've come to my shows and they're like, yeah, this could be a future.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm fighting for that. I'm fighting to prove my parents right, to like to help them as well. Like, you just want to do better for your parents.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
obviously for myself, but like, you want them to be the happiest people in the world when you succeed, and you don't want their sacrifices to go to vain.
Yeah.
Because they have sacrificed a lot for me, especially with dance, and like I started off doing gymnastics and all these things, and it has to contribute an amount to something, right? I can't let their efforts go to vain. I need to prove that, and I hope to, inshallah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm sure he will. I think that's a strong motivation for real. I have that as well, that desire to to pay them back. Interestingly for me, there's some things I want to prove my parents wrong about.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They're African at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think,
Even my parents.
yeah. Like, as an African as well, I'm sure there might be some views your parents have about things that they think are pointless or won't work out, and I have this like burning desire to just prove them wrong and
Especially,
be like, it does work, Yeah.
In the creative spaces, especially,
Yeah.
and entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Because for me, my parents, sorry to cut you off, but
Right.
for me, my parents, well, my dad specifically is like, you have to be really good to stand out, and only one person gets selected, and all these things. And that's the main reason why I wanted to like create opportunities for myself and my people, because there's not many opportunities like that for us. And why can't we all shine? Why can't we all have opportunity and have a chance to work hard and let people see our talent?
Yeah.
And for those who don't work hard, yeah, you can go back, but I'm talking about the people who put time in, time out to do the thing that they love and like receive nothing from it because there's no opportunity for them.
Yeah. I think that speaks again to the mission that you have with One Syllable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that like inclusivity, and I'm sure there's a lot more details coming out when she does her rebranding.
It's coming.
Yeah, you guys.
It might have came already.
Oh yeah, by the time this should be coming out in May or so around.
It might have been there. So check out, man. Check it out.
Check out One Syllable on LinkedIn, Instagram.
Yeah, syllable.
Yeah. TikTok as well. YouTube. What else
platforms. Go on our Instagram, then click on our link tree. All our socials come up.
Yeah, so check that out. I'm sure you guys will be very interested in, keeping up with her journey and things. But yeah, I think I definitely do want to prove my parents and some people wrong as well. You know what's so toxic?
I'm scared to hear it. Why?
So I don't read it. I haven't read it in like 2 years, but I have a long list of
things.
Yeah, of things that people said that I want to prove them wrong about. It could be the tiniest thing.
That's so petty.
So like
I love that though.
One day there was this guy. I'm sure he meant well. He was a personal trainer. This was back in like early gym days where I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was kind of weak, and so he was just trying to help me. He was like, hey, this is how you do it. He didn't say it in these words, but basically what he was trying to convey was that, you're still a beginner. You're not at that level yet. So just chill out and just use this way instead. And in my head, I was like, bro.
Screw you, sir.
I'm like, wait. Just give me a few more years in the gym.
Just wait, bro. Do you know what that means? Just wait until I grow up. Okay, I'm probably not. Sorry, carry on. Just carry on.
Nah, but yeah, I guess in a toxic way, I was just like, I want to prove him wrong, and I want to become super strong and, great at being at the gym and a bunch of different stuff like that. But yeah, as much as I have things that I want to prove right to myself, I would be lying if I didn't say there wasn't a little bit of like a chip on my shoulder and things like that.
Care to expand?
What are you trying to get at?
Bro, can we talk about the thing that you said off pod?
What do you want to talk
Nah,
about?
we can do it off cam, but I want to hear.
Okay.
You already know what I want to hear, bro. Stop trying it.
Okay, yeah, we could do it off cam. We could do it off
Off
cam.
cam, bro.
But yeah, it's been great. You know, we changed scenery. We're in the whip in a Lamborghini right now.
Don't lie to them, Jerry.
We didn't want to use the Ferrari today, just because, you know, the Ferrari was it was dirty. It hadn't been washed yet, so we just had to use the Lamborghini, right?
I'm
Right?
fasting. I can't lie. Oh, period.
But nah, guys. Thank you for watching. You know, before we close off, is there anything you want to mention about anything you got coming up?
Yeah,
Or
just
anything.
the rebrand is coming. It's coming. I promise. It's coming. No, you can also check out my personal YouTube where I document my life as I navigate the business world, trying to grow my business, also trying to navigate my faith, and yeah, trying to also have fun and be I was about to say a teenager, be a young adult and accumulating wealth, wisdom, and what's another W?
Winnings.
Winnings. I thought you were going to say women.
Wealth, wisdom, winnings.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for having me, Jerry, this weekend. This is great.
Yeah.
And I love driving all the way to West London. It's fine, I've done it before.
50 minutes.
50 minutes. I'm going to drive home and it's going to take me an hour and 30.
An hour 30?
Yeah. I drove from work.
Oh, and your work is like closer to here than your house is.
Yeah, it's closer.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's W Raliat, guys. W Raliat in the chat. W's in the chat. Sometimes I feel like a streamer. Would you ever stream?
Yeah, can you like, why haven't you opened up to Twitch? Like, that would be so. Wait, why don't we go on TikTok live?
Nah,
Yeah,
I'm not really a live person though.
Why not?
Because I like it to be edited and aesthetic.
Right.
Like, it's still gonna be natural, but like, you know, I like a little aestheticness to it. You know, something that's been crafted up. But this is Raliat, everyone. Anything you want to say before we close off?
Check out my YouTube and thank you.
Yep.
I'm trying to get 1,000.
1,000, yeah. You're on 800.
No.
700.
700 and something.
700. Get
730. 742.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to 1,000 as well. So
like, subscribe, comment below.
1,000, guys. See you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Next on the Jerry Exclusive podcast, we have Psych. I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna have to watch it to find out. So stay tuned for the next episode.
You know why? People haven't clocked this. Like, there's such an easy solution. People keep saying 100 people can't defeat a gorilla, but they can, and it's much easier than you think. I think even 2 people could defeat a gorilla, but there's just one trick that people have to understand if they want to be able to defeat the gorilla really easily.